Hey everybody, this is Scott and Bethany Palmer. We're so excited to be with you
here
on yet another awesome Wealth Wednesday.
That's right.
You know, with Wealth Wednesdays, really what our goal is just to give you some different thoughts and different perspectives and give you some ideas of what we're finding is working with us in our own relationship and what we're finding is working with so many that hundreds of couples that we're working with.
Yep.
And so Wealth Wednesdays is all about how to make you more prosperous and even more importantly, how to make your relationship more prosperous. And what we've found is that the more prosperous your relationship is, the more prosperous your finances become. So that's why we call Wealth Wednesdays, because we want to just come alongside you and give you some ideas. So where are we today?
Yes. Well,
this is actually our studio.
Yes, you can see. We wanted to definitely introduce you to our studio here in Colorado Springs. We are working so diligently on a new program while we wait for people to come on. Please come on. Make sure you announce yourself. We're Scott Bethany Palmer, the Money Couple. But while we're having people come on, we just wanted to show you our studio a little bit. We are working diligently behind the scenes on a couple of different things. First of all, Money University. We sent out a survey and so many of you gave us feedback to put our finishing final touches on Money University. It's going to be the state-of-the-art money program you are not going to want to miss. Very, very exciting. But before that launches and while we're working on the finishing touches up there, we are going to be giving you a brand new thing called Money Launchpad. Now, Money Launchpad, what it is, it's an availability for you to be able to launch your money into brand new heights. You know, this money stuff can be so confusing. Also, relationships and money, those are hard. So we're going to give you 3 free videos that's going to be really educationally based to be able to launch your money into brand new heights. And then later on, probably around April 21st or so, we're going to be introducing Money University. So stay tuned. But this is where all the magic happens. All of our videos. We really, really enjoy our time with you, that we get to talk to you. It's so great. And these Wealth Wednesdays are another avenue to do that. We are really working hard to give you content that will really be life-changing and just great for your relationships and great for everything. We're Scott and Bethany Palmer, the Money Couple, here on Wealth Wednesday. We're so glad you're joining us. Please be sure to do a shout out to us to say I'm here. If you have any questions or any thoughts, as we're walking through these points, today is all about how to have money smart kids and tips for that. So we're going to be talking about that. So be sure to ask your questions. Be sure to let us know what you're thinking. Be sure to say, hey, I'm here, because we want to acknowledge you.
You know, when it comes to money smart kids and how you raise money smart kids,
should we go to our office and do
it? You want to walk over there?
Hey, let's walk over there.
All right.
Okay, well, here we go.
Do you want to hold it or you want me to
go ahead.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Turn these lights off. It gets to be like 150 degrees in here. If you want a weight loss program, just stand in front of a bunch of lights and all right. So I'm pretty excited about today. I think Bethany's catching up with me here, but I am really excited about today because, oh man, and did we get a snow? I hope you guys can see that. That is actually Pikes Peak. See a little whisk of snow coming off the top of that, which means it's really cold. We got hit pretty hard with snow in the last week and a half, which is great because we need the moisture. But you will, here, scoot over a little bit so maybe Pikes Peak can be between us. Here, go that way. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Wow.
Now we can get Pikes Peak right between us, right?
Awesome.
So
all
anyways,
right, so
but
you're going to start?
Yeah, so
we want money smart kids, don't we?
We want money smart kids. And as you know, having money smarts kids, especially in today's world, is really, really, really hard. So we're going to just share with you today 3 things that we were kind of noticing in our own kids and 3 things that we suggest that we're using that are actually working. And one of the things that I think is important for us to remember is that, you know, when it comes to kids, we've all had those moments where we're just sitting there in complete horror, like, what happened? What you want to do what with your money, or did you really just spend that, or what's going on? And so today we're talking about how to have amazingly money smart kids, and part of that is just by just kind of watching their habits and understanding. So I want to start off with 3 things that we found. One of the big ones was, and the first one that we found in working with our own kids, is the whole issue of I want it now. And good, bad, or indifferent, the reality is sometimes the kids just want it now. And so what do you do with that? We want it now. It's a great opportunity, whether it's, when they think of the we want it now. I know we have a teenager and he doesn't spend a lot of money on himself, but when he goes out with his friends, that's when he spends his money. As where my 13-year-old, he still loves to spend money on clothes and sporting equipment and those various things. So he wants it now. So the first thing we noticed was, wow, our kids are really we want it now kind of kids. The second thing is even when we're talking about money, something that's becoming so much more apparent is they just have different views of money. They just have their own thought process. They just have their own way of what they think money should be and how that money should look. And so I want to talk about, what do you do when you just have different points of view about money? And last but not least is that our kids really don't always have a lot of life experience when it comes to their money. They haven't learned a whole lot because I don't know about you, but often the money is handled by Bethany and myself, and we just get things rolling and we just take care of the money. So one of the things that we also want to talk about today is how do we create life experiences for our kids so that they can be amazingly smart when it comes to money. Because just like you, practice makes perfect. And I know with Bethany and I, we've made some really good money decisions, but we've made some really bad money decisions in our lives. And so part of what kind of experiences can we give our kids now to make sure that that money experience is awesome?
Now, we aren't perfect. I wish we were. Darn, we're not. But we have learned quite a bit, and we focus on all of these money things all the time. So we're constantly learning. We're learning from you. Hey, please shout out to us if you're out there. We love to hear from you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. We're Scott Bethany Palmer, the Money Couple. We're talking today about tips to have money smart kids. Money impacts just about every decision that we make. And as your kids get older, it definitely impacts decisions that they make. We actually put together a book just about this. So we're gleaning from that particular book. Hey, honey, you want to go grab it?
Yeah, sure.
There we go. Go there, grabbing it. This comes from our book, The 5 Money Conversations to Have with Your Kids at Every Age and Stage. Super important that we're intentional with this particular area of our lives, of our kids' lives. We're often intentional about discipline. We're intentional about exercise, sports, their health,
their academics.
Yep. Super intentional about that. But not always about their money because we don't always know what to do. So this particular resource is a great resource. But we want to go over today 3 particular special tips that we want you to make and take when it comes to your kids. We're Scott Bethany Palmer, the Money Couple. We're here on Wealth Wednesday, and we're excited to be with you here today. First of all, we want, the first tip is to teach your children, no matter what age they are, delayed gratification. We're in such a me, be, me society, and it's so easy to just be very me-oriented. And learning delayed gratification has so many positive ramifications to it. For example, if they learn delayed gratification, just in terms of their relationships, if you put a lot of work into something, you get a lot out of it, no matter what it is. And so teaching delayed gratification is really, really important. So how do you know if your kid is struggling in this area? If they're very me. Not all kids struggle with it, but here's a kind of a cool little test that you can do with each child, no matter what age they are, to see how they're doing. And so let me just share that little test with you. Let's give them a task that they don't normally do. Let's just say it's doing the dishwasher. So you say to them, maybe on a Saturday, you say, hey, I'd really appreciate it if you would do the dishwasher today before you goof around or play with your friends or go out with your friends or whatever. So again, I'd appreciate it if you would do the dishwasher, but here's your choice. You can either do the dishwasher before you play with your friends, or you can just go ahead and get it over with and do it now. Oh, wait. I didn't word that right. You can either go ahead and do the dishwasher now and get it over with and play with your friends later, or play with your friends and do the dishwasher later. whatever they answer to that is going to show you where they are on the delayed gratification scale. If they just go ahead and get it over with, I have one child who would totally be like, oh, no problem, just go ahead, get it over with. The other child would be like, oh no, I want to play first and then I'll do it later. The delayed gratification kid, the one who's okay with it, is going to go ahead and do the dishwasher first. Get it over with and then have some fun. You want to really be noticing, really be observing how your children are doing in this particular area. Now, let's say they said, oh, no, Mom, I'm going to go play first. I'll do the dishwasher later. I don't care. You got some work to do. Teaching them little ways to have delayed gratification. Don't tell them that they have a problem. You just go ahead and observe it, and now you can go ahead and do things to help them learn that important feat of delayed gratification.
Absolutely. Another idea would also be to, we're coming up on sorry about my hand going there. We're coming up on summer and summer vacations. And one of the things you might want to practice with your kids with this delayed gratification is, instead of letting them buy what they want right now, saying, hey, you know what, why don't we hold off on that purchase? Because you're probably going to want to buy something a lot like this, or maybe something even cooler on vacation. And you want to make sure that you save up some of your money for that vacation. Then hopefully they say, yeah, that's a good idea. And then when they're on vacation and they have that money, you can just remind them, hey, isn't that cool that you actually didn't buy that? So now that you're here and you're in this, you have this opportunity to buy something that you're even going to like more, that you have the money to do it. It's a great example of delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification is just crucial for kids of all ages, and it's never too late to start. You can have a kid who's 18 and be working with them on it. Delayed gratification is really, really important. All right. Next one is give life experiences. Life experiences with kids with money is the best way to teach kids about money. It's really interesting. Let me talk a little bit about what you can do with younger kids. One of the things with younger kids is making sure that kids understand how much things cost.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to us. We had when Cade was in second grade, his teacher did a little exercise where they went around and they said, if you had $100, what would you buy with it? And everybody went around and said, and some people were like, I'd buy a house. And some people say, I'd buy a boat, or I'd go skiing, or I'd do this. And Cade would pop up and go, that costs more than $100. And somebody would say something else ridiculous like, I don't know, go to Disneyland. Well, that costs more than $100, because Cade had a really good understanding of how much things cost. And value is very important. And so going around and just doing little exercises like going around and pointing at a house. How much do you think a house costs? Or pointing at a bike. How much do you think a bike costs? Or pointing at college and saying, how much do you think college costs? Just to start having them understand the value of $1. And you can make this fun. This is really good for young kids. You will be amazing. It is amazing to us how much more money smart they become when they just understand how much things cost and the value for something.
For older kids, I think of some more life experiences that I'm trying to give my oldest teenager, Cole. And one of the things we're doing is he turned 16 in about 4 months. And oh my goodness, no, I think it's like 3 months.
Yes.
Well,
Can
anyways,
you believe it?
I can't believe it either. Maybe I'm in denial. But one of the things I'm going to do for his 16th birthday is I'm going to get him a credit card, not a debit card, an actual real life credit card. Now, my name's going to be on it too, but it's going to be his primary way of putting gas into his car that he saved for. It's going to be his primary way of spending money with his friends. And what we're going to do is we're going to use that as a life experience card. I'm going to sit down with him. I'm going to put the app on his phone where he can check to see how much is on there. When we sit down every month, when I pay bills on the 15th, he's going to pay his bills on the 15th from his checking account. He's going to learn how to automatically pay it from his checking account directly to the credit card so that he doesn't have to cut a check. It's all electronic. But the thing I want to teach him is not only the life experience of you have this credit card, but how do you pay it off every month? How's the interest going to beat you up if you're not careful? How do you want to make sure that you don't go more in debt? And oh, by the way, you're building a great credit score by doing it. So giving life experiences is huge, especially to our teenagers with money, because unlike me, I don't want my first credit card experience to be what I learned in college. I want him to know that his dad's walked him through it.
We have some people joining us. That's so great. Continue to say hello. We love that. But another thing I want to comment on that is a credit card, not just a debit card. There we are. A lot of people are like, well, I'll get him a debit card, but I would never get him a credit card. Well, here's the thing. If you want to get him a debit card, get him a debit card. I have a friend who gives her son a debit card, and they just agree, you can spend $10 tonight or $20 tomorrow or whatever. But the reason why the credit card is because if you don't, somebody else will give them a credit card. That will definitely happen in college. Tell them your story about college.
Yeah, I got my first credit card for a 2-pound bag of M&Ms, and I didn't even know what I was getting into or what that looked like. And when I came home that summer with about $750 on that credit card, my dad was fit to be tied, and I had to have that thing paid off before I went back to school. So I don't want Cole to make my mistake, and I'm sure if I would have sat down and talked to my dad about credit cards, he would have taken me through the woes of a credit card. But I think as parents, we just need to be really super crazy proactive and make sure that we're giving him these money experiences so that a 2-pound bag of M&Ms doesn't turn into a $1,000 mistake like it did for me.
Yeah, and it just so easily can. So we want our kids to be money smart. So there's a couple of really good hands-on things that you can do. One with the younger children, one with the older children as they get older, making sure that we are really, really smart. And we want to talk again about the 5 money conversations to have with your kids at every age and stage. There's 5 crucial conversations. We put this book together so it can kind of be your money manual for teaching kids, because it takes them through 0 to 7, 8 to 12, and 13 to 17, and then 18 and beyond, even 18 to 25. We've got a big problem with kids moving home. There's issues with that. It's a great opportunity, however, to teach them about money. So we're excited about this particular resource. So pick up a copy at Amazon.com. Make sure you can always come to our website too and get it, themoneycouple.com. 2 exciting programs coming out, Money University, also Money Launchpad. We're super excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about another tip that we suggest, and this has to really do with the 5 money conversations to have with your kids at every age and stage. You're not always going to understand why your kids make the money decisions they do. And you also might not agree with the decisions they're making at all. But what you really need to do, and we have found so helpful, is really get to know your kids' money personalities. They don't have to be the same, and that's okay. But the reality is if you know what their money personalities are, then what you do is you have the ability to talk to them in a totally different way. Just like you've learned in probably dealing with us over the years about how spouses are different, your kids are different. So understanding not only their primary or their secondary money personalities is going to be imperative. Cole and I, we have opposite money personalities. He's a risk taker, I'm a security seeker. So sometimes when he comes up with his ideas about what he wants to do with money or spend money or go and do something with his money, it really stresses me out. But I have to remember that's a risk taker. That's who he is. With the 5 money conversations to have with your kids at every age and stage, we actually have a scratch off on the last page of the book that gives you 5 free money personality assessments for kids. And what we did was we came up with an assessment, once again, like Bethany said, from 0 to 7, 8 to 12, 13 to 17, and 18 and beyond. So you can really understand what their money personalities are and how you're going to get in front of those money clashes.
Now, there we go. I keep clicking the button on the phone. I'm new at this Facebook Live thing. But I just want to spend just a minute talking about how important it is to know your kids' money's personalities. And we kind of had a fun exercise that we did as a family a week ago or so, where we found out what our kids' love languages were. How fun was that? It turns out that Cole, Cade, and Bethany all have our love languages are words, and Scott's is touch. So he is living with a bunch of word people, and he's really, really working on his words of encouragement to us, and it's helping so much. Same thing in money personality. We feel like you will really know your children if you know their 2 money personalities and their love language. But you will know them in a totally unique way and how God made them so different. My oldest is a primary risk taker, secondary security seeker. He is complicated. complicated. And he'll come up with these ideas that are great ideas, and then his security seeker will pop in and he'll just talk himself right out of it. So it's helped us parent him in such a better way, because we're able to really say things like, you know what, Cole, just stick with that risk taker side of what you're thinking. That's going to keep you encouraged. And so he'll kind of click into that risk taker and he'll follow through. And it's just exciting to see. It helps us parent him so much better. You know, many decisions happen every day, and helping him navigate them better is awesome. Cade, on the other hand, he's a primary spender, secondary security seeker. So he likes to spend the money, but man, he's got to have a plan, and having a good plan every day is important for him. I know he operates so much better. He'll even say sometimes, "Okay, Mom, what's the plan for the day?" And that's his security seeker popping out. So this book, The 5 Money Conversations to Have with Your Kids at Every Age and Stage, really helps you dissect these different money personalities in these different conversations and how to have them effectively. Man, I wasn't planning on going on and on, but I just can't even stress how much it's help us parent our children so much better and so much easier, because we understand who they are. Their money personalities are both very different than mine. And so understanding that is absolutely crucial and key. So anyway, money smart kids, you can have them, but you've got to navigate them. That's our job as parents, is to bring them up to be incredible people, and that's our job. Is money part is really important, and we want to help you along the way with that.
So awesome. So hopefully today you got 1 or 2 gold nuggets about, how we can have these amazingly money smart kids. So thank you for being with us. Have an amazing weekend. And we'll look forward to seeing you at our next Wealth Wednesday. So as always, be good and make it happen.